Hey, what is up, good people? How you doing? It's a beautiful day. Hey, today is the day that we have my man Josh in the house. This is Technical Tuesdays, okay? Follow that prompter right there. Hit that like, subscribe, and that notification bell. Just do it. The earlier you do that like, for those of you that are already subscribed, the more powerful this video is because we help YouTube with the algorithm. Thank you in advance. Hey, we're going to get right into it. Yes, we're going to cover Mullen. We're going to cover Volta. But more importantly, we're going to cover the overall stock market, which includes all of your stock. And if you haven't noticed by now, your crypto, which is killing it today. You know, my crypto looks good today. I hope yours do too. Josh, say hello to the good people.
Hey, financial family. I'm glad to be back here with you guys. We've got great stuff for you, man. The charts are speaking loud and clear. So we're going to take a look at them with you here in a few minutes.
All right, so let's briefly go over yesterday. A lot of people were asking, hey, Larry, what happened to Volta? What happened to Volta? It was down like 7% yesterday. Well, let's look at Volta today. So look at right here. As you can see, Volta's up almost 8%, right? And so we can see here, we see what's happening with Volta, right? So Volta is one of those stock. I just told you guys, just hold it. You know, just stay the course with Volta. Yeah, it goes down 7%, 8%, and then what happens today is back up 8%, right? And we know, hey, well, what happened to their earnings? Why they're pushing it back? It doesn't matter. That's not the reason why it tanked yesterday. The reason why Volta tanked yesterday is because all tech tanked yesterday, right? And when the Fed were talking about interest rate hikes, instead of going up 7 times at a quarter of a percent or 25 basis point, now they're saying exactly what I was telling you guys last week. They're going to have to go up 50 basis points, and they're going to have to do it sooner. So the Fed came out and reiterated what I've been telling you guys, and it affects all of your stock. It affected all of tech, which if you get technical with it, that involves Volta, all these charging stations, ChargePoint, EVgo, so have you, right? So Josh, what do we got for the people today? You know what? Why don't you start with an overall market, and then we're going to get right into Mullen, and then we'll talk about another stock. Let's go.
All right, so we had a giant rip, obviously, in the market last week, and we want to kind of figure out where might this be going. Are we going up or are we going down from here? So, Larry, let's jump into the charts here. Okay, so, I want to remind everybody that we had a big rip in a bear market. So we are not out of the woods by any means. This was really an incredible and phenomenal move upwards. And so where does that leave us? So I just want to point out Monday, if we zoom in right here, we had a doji candle. Each of the, I'm going to give you a little bit of teaching on text when I do this on Technical Tuesday. We're looking at the daily view on trading view. And the daily view means that each of these candles represents one day in the market. And so Monday morning, we got a doji, which is basically a plus sign, which means it's a candle that represents indecision. It means that the bears and the bulls went at it all day long, and neither of them accomplished anything. Yet here we came into Tuesday and we pushed right past that and we've come up. Okay, so where I want to take a moment to look at with you guys is what do we have a potential to the upside and what potential do we have to the downside? One of the reasons why we look at these types of technicals is because the market's moving, and what does everybody begin to feel, Larry? FOMO.
FOMO.
Okay, we all know what FOMO is.
FOMO.
The fear of missing out. Hey, I didn't get into MULN. Someone says,
right.
Do I just jump in right now?
Yep.
Is it going to the moon?
Is Mullen going to the moon?
Well, as a note on that, we originally looked at Mullen, I think back on March 8th. We were doing a live, and one of the family members shout out, hey, look at Mullen. And now I know that we get shout outs, Larry, on all sorts of stocks and cryptos the entire time you're on, right? And I knew that Mullen had been on your radar.
Right.
And so the one that you let get through to the family was Mullen. And I believe that we were looking at it around $1.60, and we both agreed and shared with the family on that day from a technical perspective, it was a buy. And matter of fact, on that day, I even said, as soon as we're done with this video, I'm taking a position.
Yes,
right?
taking a position.
A lot of people made money on that, and right now we might have some FOMO. So we're going to look at what is our upside, what is our downside. I watched your video, Larry, yesterday, and I think you gave the family a potential 489 upside.
That's correct.
And you gave them a re-entry point of about 280, right?
Yep.
Which I think is spot on.
Yeah, 280, 282.
There is clearly a shelf on Mullen down at 2 as well. But now let's get into the big picture so we can see why I brought that up, right? So let's go back to the charts. So what we would like to see in this market right now is we'd really like to see the market digest this powerful move to the upside, okay? Now, we have a shelf here of resistance, a very strong shelf of resistance at 46. And we have a potential shelf of support back here at 44, right? Now, I mean, let's just use a little bit of common sense, right? Right now, we have a smaller opportunity to the upside, okay? We have a smaller opportunity to the upside. We have a larger opportunity to the downside. And to be honest with you, if we pulled back and retraced and retested this level and turned it into a level of support, that would actually be a pretty powerful area of support that could possibly project us up higher. I do believe it's very possible that we could go as high as this 46. It obviously was an area of resistance 2 times before. And I think it is possible here this week that we could actually come up and touch that. So I wouldn't sell everything you've got prematurely, but I'd be keeping a very close eye on it. I actually personally would prefer to see this pull back to this area of support at 4,400, and I would see it as a buying opportunity. And I think that we would see that range. I'm just going to shout out Mullen again. We're going to see that range between $2.80 and $2 probably if we came back and retested this area of 4,400. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, I agree with it. Let me see. Yep. So I definitely agree that in that area that it is a good entry point for us to get in. And just like the hype, here's where fundamentals meet technicals, just like the hype, right? It was like SHIB, right? SHIB, everybody say, hey, it's going to a half a cent. And now it's going to a penny. And so everybody chases that high price point, right? With nothing behind it. It was just somebody said, hey, chase this, right? So if I can make 100, 200, 300, 400% from where I am now, but then I tell you it's going 4 times higher than that, then I'm going to tell you it's going 4 times higher than that, because when you buy, you're going to help my stock to go up, right? We call it the okie doke, good people. And then what I'm going to do is I don't need to sell at 7 because I know it's not even possible because of the share count. I'm talking about SHIB right now. So I could sell it and take my 500% and run, right? And some of you guys have to understand, your 500%, you may have 500,000 in it, right? But somebody else's 500%, they may have 500,000 in there. So what's 500% on 500,000? Somebody else may have $1 million in there. So what's 500% on that? You see what I'm saying? And so this is the game, good people. So now, can you get 7 out of Mullen Auto? Yes, you can. It's going to take some time. But until then, like I showed you yesterday with that huge red candle, there's going to be some profit taking. And I will be one of the ones that get in and get out. What you got to say?
Well, I want to jump back and look a little bit more at the overall market. I just wanted to point out that if we came back and retested this area, I just want to point out that right now we are ranging, okay? We had been in a range up here before, and we broke through that range. And now we are in a little bit of a larger range, okay? We've established a couple hits at the top, and it failed to break through. We've established a couple hits here at the bottom, and it became support. Now, what often happens is that price likes to move into the middle, Okay, so here we are on the top half of this range, and if we've had another bump up today. If we come up and hit it, we're going to come back to the middle. I want to point out something about candles today. I'm making a couple points about candles, and we're going to look at a bullish engulfing candle in the overview, and we're going to look at wicks and tails. So let's jump back into the chart. So if we jump to the weekly, right now we're looking at the daily. If we look at the weekly right now, we had this massive green day, right? This is called a bullish engulfing candle. A bullish engulfing candle area is when you have a candle that opens lower than the previous week and closes higher than the previous week.
Yeah.
And normally this indicates that we're going to have a continued upswing, which we're already seeing this week, right? So in addition to that, I want to also point and have a little bit of a view of wicks and tails, okay?
Right.
So if we jump in, I want to point out that right now, look at these giant tails.
Yeah.
Okay, tails are very bullish,
Yes.
right? When we see them at the bottom of a candle,
Tails tell a tale.
tails tell a tale, and the tale they tell is that people are buying up that week,
Yep.
right? And so now I'm going to tell you what I'm looking for. If we go a little bit back in time, we see these wicks at the top of the previous weeks, right? And they are bearish. So right now, I think we're setting up here for a potential candle. It would be possibly by the end of this week or the end of next week where we're going to touch this and we're going to possibly come back. If I see a tail next week, folks, I'm going to tell you that we've entered into a confirmation of a bearish downtrend.
Okay, cool. Listen, what we're going to do now is we got about 2 minutes. I'm going to throw you for I know you probably have it somewhere. Let's talk about SHIB while we're at it.
Okay, let's jump at
yes,
it.
Yes, let's go at it.
Give me 1
while
minute.
you're pulling up SHIB, one of the things that I've noticed is SHIB has been holding through the geopolitical situation, through the Fed rate hikes, everything. SHIB has been holding strong. There again, another hype coin, but it's been growing strong because they are building out, actually, they're doing a much better job than I thought, building out a whole platform, a whole Shibaverse, if you will. And let's go into the technicals. Let's look at it.
Yeah, I completely agree with Larry's overview on SHIB. The fundamentals for SHIB, Larry, are very exciting.
Yeah.
We're looking at, obviously, metaverse, NFTs. The leadership behind SHIB is phenomenal. This guy's got a strong vision. He believes in it. He intends to make a lot more money promoting SHIB, and I think there's more money for us to be made in it as well.
Yep.
So let's dive right into the SHIB chart. Okay, I'm just going to point out a couple things for the good people, right? What I want you guys to keep in mind in the short term, I started off before and I said, hey, we had a big rip in what? A bear market, right? So similarly, what that's going to mean for a lot of the stocks that we're looking at is that we're going to be range bound in our trading. And so right now, I'm just going to point out that in my mind, I see the range for SHIB at a high end of quad 3.5 and a low end of quad 1.7, okay? And we're obviously moving in this pendant shape, right? And it's been an area of resistance, all of these touches along the way. And I would say that we have consolidated here quite a bit, and we're looking for an impending breakout. If we get that breakout, I think it's going to take us up over the course of days to 3.5. Be mindful of what I'd refer to as a bull trap or bear trap. A bull trap is when it breaks out above your resistance line, but then falls back through, okay? And a bear trap would be the opposite. It's for people that are trying to short the stock. It's where it breaks below the support, but actually fires back up through. So right now, I also want to point out that SHIB and Bitcoin do run and correlate with each other, but SHIB also has its own timing to running. It often goes ahead of Bitcoin. So SHIB, the meme coins will run before, sometimes before Bitcoin will run. It'll signal changes in the market.
In the market. Yep. Hey, good people. We gonna leave it right there. Guess what? I twisted his arm. He actually got a page set up. And so what we're gonna do is, there's nothing on that page right now. We're gonna keep talking off camera, And that discussion will probably be posted on his new page in a few days. All right. We're going to try to get it up as soon as possible. So there's no content over there. So instead of you guys telling us how much you like Technical Tuesdays, I'm going to leave a link below, and I just want you guys to go over and subscribe to his page and show him some love. Okay. And that's what I want you guys to do. Make absolutely sure that you check out all of the links below. All right. And I'll tell you guys that I am moving a lot of stuff over from my other portfolio. So I'm doing everything. I still got Fidelity. I still got Webull. Webull is my pre-market and post-market play. If you guys want a ton of free stuff, click my link below, right? But now we're also using Mumu, okay? And we're going to be doing more plays using the Mumu app. So click that link and download it. But also too, look at crypto right now. All of the crypto is doing well, and we are housing that where? On our Coinbase. So I got a link for all three of those below. And make sure, I'm going to leave at the top link, I'm going to leave Josh's page there. And just go and subscribe to it and wait for content. We're going to continue to let this roll and just share it over there. Anything you want to say in part?
Well, we got so much that we would love to share with you guys. We have limited time, right? So we're just going to probably do some lives over there and throw out a ton of stocks, right? We're going to cover stuff for the people, whatever it is that they ask for. We're going to give them some direction on. And I always love the comments. I'll find you all in the comments section. I look for you in the comments section. I reply to you in the comments section. I love this family, and thanks for having me again, Larry.
Hey, no problem. Hey, you guys know I always try to hit you guys with the absolute best. Anything that's going to help the family, I want to come and feed the family. All right, we're going to leave it right there, good people. Hey, let's go out with this jam. Peace. What's up, good people?